Well, hello again. Hello again, my friend. Hello. Let me get set up here. Sorry. Oh man. Boom, 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 boom. I can never get pre-set up. I don't know what's going on with that. Right? I don't know what's wrong with that. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Broke TV 123. I am your host, Rome. No, I'm not that other guy. If you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm getting started a little late, 2 minutes late. But anyway, so today we're talking about all kinds of stuff, y'all. Oh man, I'll tell you, man, I'm in some pain, back pain. Sure am. I started cutting a tree up, cutting a limb off. It's probably payback. It's like, oh, you're gonna do that to me, huh? Here you go. I'll get you back. So anyway, let's see. What are we talking about? I got all kinds of stuff. Really appreciate everybody joining in. Hey, it's something to listen to, right? Heard people listen to my podcast just to fall asleep. I hope that's not all y'all watch for. But anyway, feel free to chime in, comment. Let me know what's going in y'all's simulation life, so to speak. Got my bubble keg full of water. I'm ready to rock and roll. All right. So let's see. Hey, guess what I did today? I played the lottery. Yes. I'll tell you what, the lottery is being drawn tonight. Bear with me 1 second. I'll give you some details on that. NC lottery. Boom. So, it's up to 1.1 billion. Actually, it's probably way higher than that now because, dude, when I was in there buying tickets, there was like 5 people in front of me buying tickets. So imagine that around North Carolina or, yeah. Excuse me, how many? Yeah. So, I'm trying to see what it's actually up to and when a drawing. Let's see. Next drawing. Let's see here. It doesn't give me a time. I swear I saw it was like 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. It's basically when it is. Anyway, I played 8 times. One of those was only picked by the computer. So, yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw it and I was like, $1 billion. I said, I think I'll jump on that. Cost me $16 to play 8 times. Yeah. So $1.1 billion. Let's see what the take home is. How much is take home of the NC Powerball. I guess that's how you word it. I'm not good with wording things. Wow. 40%. Says for a large jackpot, the total tax burden can easily exceed 40%. So usually it's like half, so if it's $1 billion, right, you get half of that. But $500 million, right? What are you going to do with $500 million, man? Come on. I would buy my own country. No, it'd probably cost more than that. Did you know that you can actually buy islands? Yes. Let's see how much an island is. Islands for sale. I've literally seen islands for sale over the past like 20 or 30 years. I'd be looking in like a magazine or something. Hey, buy this little island. Yeah, there's a thing called Private Islands Inc. Yeah, man. They are not cheap. I mean, why would they be? I mean, it's an island, right? There's one for $75 million. And it looks like it's got like a little pond. Well, it ain't little. It's a lake in the middle of it. Wonder if you can filter this. Oh, yeah, you can. Right on. Can we get a price? Oops. What did I just do? Okay, here we go. Some of these look like crap, man. It's like, why would you? A lot of these are sold, though. That's amazing. Okay, here's one. It's an acre, and it's $155,000. It's in Central America, Belize. Buy me an island. Anyway, that's the cheapest one. Well, apparently cheapest one. There's some that say you need to call, but anyway. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. So we're basically just talking about all kinds of different topics, okay? And this is also a live show where you get to come in and if you got a topic you want to talk about or something, feel free, to say something. We'll start talking about it, whatever. But I have all these topics myself that I like to talk about, right? Just something to do, okay? Something to listen to. You never know. You might learn something. Let's see. So we were talking about the lottery, how it's up to $1.1 billion. Go to your local gas station tonight and buy a ticket. I've already bought 8 of them. So I'm very confident. Give me like $500,000. I'll live on it the rest of my life. Right? If there's any rich people out there right now watching this, I would love $500,000 cash to live off the rest of my life. Once you do it and take a bet, say, I bet this guy can't live off the rest of his life with this. I'll take that bet. Yeah. I'm good with money. Right. Moving on. Okay. Or well, if you have won the lottery, chime in and tell me about that. I'd love to hear about it. I have watched the Curse of the Lottery, and if y'all ain't seen that, man, some of it's hard to watch because it's like, man, it feels so bad for these people, but some of them you don't. Some of them are idiots. They'll go out and they just blow it all you think somebody would normally do. Buy houses and cars and land and girlfriends and bunch of drug addicts. Too much drogas. But anyway, no, man. Somebody asked me the other day, say, what would you do if you won all that? I said, well, I'm the type person that a lot of it would be given away. It really would. That's just how I am. I don't let money control me. At least I try not to. Right? That's just how I am, though. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of evil people out there there's also such thing called karma, that they win and it's like the devil's behind it and he knows what you're going to do with it, But there are people that have won the lottery, that have done really well and are still doing very well for themselves because they know how to do good with it. They're smart. Yeah. You can watch them probably on YouTube and you can learn from them too, right? And learn from the mistakes the mistakes that the other guys make and everything are the obvious stuff. Where they go out and they just buy ridiculous stuff, Speaking of lottery, there's a movie that you should watch if you've never watched it. It's called Brewster's Millions. Richard Pryor and John Candy. Great movie. Richard Pryor inherits money, but there's a catch to it. I don't want to give nothing away, but watch it. It's a wonderful movie. It's from the 80s. It's great. It's on my list. I love it. Love that movie. Anything Richard Pryor's ever been in or John Candy, come on. Have they ever made a bad movie? I don't think so. So anyway, moving on. Okay. So I know everybody has gotten scam calls, bot calls, stuff like that. You're on a dating site and you see, somebody chimes in. Sorry, hang on. Something is wrong with my glasses as usual. Maybe it's just my weird head. I think I have a weird head. I think it's shaped weird. Anyway. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome. Welcome back. So anyway, God, what was I saying? Okay. So scam callers. Yeah. There's a ton of them out there. Especially if you're on like a dating app or something like that, and you get one, it's a good looking chick or whatever. I recently got one. And here's what you do. You take their picture and you load it up to Google and find out who they really are. Okay. Another thing you can do is you go, hey, let's, whatever app you're using or whatever to talk to each other. Hey, let's do a video call. And then you see what they really are, right? Unless AI gets really good and you think you're talking to that person and it's not. Anyway. Sorry. I talk a lot. I get dry mouth. So yeah, scammers. They're everywhere. Especially in like India. I don't know if you watch that one guy who he goes in and hacks the call centers and stuff like that. He's got like blue hair, but he seems like a really cool dude. Seems like he's really smart and he's on the right team. So he's kind of fun to watch. He'll go in and just destroy the scammers, you know, whatever. But you know what? That's only like the gist of it. It's not it's not really, it's more of like a slap on the wrist from what I understand. And the scammers just keep on going and going and going, taking hard-earned money from people. Yeah. Jason Statham just made a movie called The Beekeeper. I think that's right. And it's all about those call scam things or whatever. And he goes in and takes care of business. Am I sad? No, I'm not sad. Tired? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm awake. I'm good. I'm a very spunky person. I have a spunky attitude, whatever. Dude, if you're speaking Arabic to me, I don't read it. I don't understand a word you're saying. Sorry, man. Shukran. Shukran. That's all. I think that's all I know. It means thank you, I think. Shukran. Shukran. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm even saying it right. I guess, y'all, man, y'all got some hard language to understand and to read. Wow. Y'all are the aliens. I'm just kidding. I actually have Arabic friends. I really do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I do. They're really nice people. One guy, or a couple guys, they took me to a car auction thing or whatever, showed me the ropes because they're good at that. They got their own car lot and everything. So they're very nice people. Very, very good. Anyway, but yeah, scammers. If you ever get scammed or you think you're getting scammed by somebody, try those two things. One, see if they'll do a video chat with you. Okay. Two, go on Google, take their picture, take a screenshot, go on Google the picture, see what comes up. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. And y'all forgive me. I am in pain. I have tremendous lower back pain right now because I've tried lifting something today, and I know how to lift stuff, but as you get older, you start to fall apart. Yeah, we're like people are like cars, man. They don't last forever. We start falling apart after so many miles. Oh God. Okay, speaking of cars, and by the way, if you're just now tuning in, we got all kinds of different topics we're going to be talking about and everything. And if you'd like to chime in with a certain topic, please do so. And if it's good enough for me to talk about, then I'll talk about it. If it's something nasty or something, well, you're going to have to go to the other guys because I don't do that stuff. Anyway, so, okay, car talk. Yes, I am a mechanic. I've been a mechanic for 40 years. Okay. I went to my first shop when I was 6 years old. My dad was in there and he was working on a car. And he said, "What are you doing in here?" And I said, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I probably said something like, I was hoping to help you, or can I watch? Probably one roundabout, something like that. And so I remember him saying, "You stand right over there, and if I ask you to give me a tool, you give me a tool." He has all his tools laid out and everything. I said, "Yes, sir." And so he said, "Give me that tool right there." and the tool was a wrench, or no, well, it was a pair of pliers. And he said, "You know what that's called?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't know what any of this stuff is." And he said, "That's a pair of pliers." And he told me what kind of pliers it was. And from then on, I was a mechanic. uh, anyway, um, so so I've been having this weird issue with my one of my cars. I have a 2001 Nissan Xterra. Okay, I bought it used from somebody. I've been trying to fix it up and everything, and do a bunch of stuff to it and everything. And it drives great going down the road. I can hit that sucker 80 miles an hour. You know. But when you're sitting at idle, it's sitting there and going, you know, shaking all over the place. And I'm like, good God, what the heck? Now I will back up and say that when I first go out in the morning and I start it up, starts up fine. Smokes a little. You can really smell the emissions on it, you know, and everything. Very strong. Anyway, so I'm sitting there going, man, what is going on with this thing? Take it down the road. Wherever I get to, turn it off. Then go to turn it back on, and then it doesn't want to start. It sits there and goes, and then finally I hit the gas, and then it kind of wants to start, and then go, okay, let's go. And then I'll take off down the road. So anyway, I have one of those plug-in computers. You plug it into there, you look at it, and you can do a live reading on it, see what's going on with it. Well, it has these things on it. If you're not a mechanic, it has these things on it called oxygen sensors. They plug into the exhaust in a nutshell. Okay. It has, on this vehicle, it has 4 of them. So it screws into the exhaust, and on one end, and the other end, it plugs into, it's got electrical wire where it plugs in. Okay. Well, anyway, what it does is it reads the air fuel mixture, whatever, sends a code back, sends the information back to the computer and everything, and tells it, hey, I need to add more fuel or not enough or whatever. Anyway, it's a bunch of government crap. That's what it is. So anyway, so I plugged in my computer, and it said that bank 1 sensor 2 and bank 2 sensor 2, which are the rear oxygen sensors. You got one here and one here. Okay. It said those were like stuck, basically, in a nutshell, is what they were. They were reading 99 point something and just stuck. So that number is supposed to fluctuate to whatever. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, they're stuck. They've probably never been changed or anything. So anyway, I will hopefully be buying some new ones tomorrow and fixing that problem. So anyway, maybe you learn something right there. Excuse me. Anyway, so I have and by the way, if you're just now tuning in, sorry, I'm going to do this every once in a while. If you're just now tuning in, we're talking about all kinds of different subjects. If you got a subject you would like to share, say, hey, talk about this. Okay. I know a lot of stuff, y'all. I don't know everything. I'm not God. Okay. Even though I probably could play Jesus, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. So anyway, right now we're talking about cars, vehicles, stuff like that. I only got like a couple things I want to tell you. Whatever. This is stuff that I've ran into, what I've learned. I like to share what I've learned. Okay. So I have a 2001 Dodge Durango, nice SUV. Bought it cheap, fixing it up. And so I've done a lot of stuff. This stuff had to have a new key program. Let me tell you something. If you have to have a new key program for modern vehicle, you're going to pay bucks, big bucks. This costs $250. And anyway, so you stick the key in and sit there and go, kind of like the Nissan was doing. You know, wasn't firing. I'm like, turn it. So first thing went through my mind, I'm like, there's probably something wrong with that fuel pump. It's probably gone out. Old gas was setting in this vehicle. Old gas is a no-no. It is really bad. So, yo, what up? So we got, okay, somebody's asking what we're talking about. So, hey, I got all kinds of subjects that I'm talking about. So, you know, it's kind of like a dive in. It's a mixture. If you got a subject you want to talk about, bring it on. You know, keep it G rated. Try to. I ain't trying to do one of them late night shows. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I don't know if y'all old enough. Remember the late night show on MTV? Yeah, I used to watch that. They had Dr. Drew on there. Yeah, that was a good show, man. I missed that show. Anyway, I think that was called. It was called the Late Night Show, or yeah. Oh yeah, I'm from North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah. So anyway, what I was talking about, for right now, I'm doing car talk, and then I'm gonna move on. I got all kinds of different stuff talking about. So my show's a little different than everybody else's. It's a variety show. Okay. The barbecue, I like it. They make it with, somebody's asking about how's the North Carolina barbecue. North Carolina, you know, to each his own, right? Some people hate it. My nephew hates it. I like it. It's a vinegar-based barbecue. The key is put some Texas Pete on it. Texas Pete. Yeah. Texas Pete's good. Makes it good. Anyway, so 2001 Dodge Durango. I'm going to tell you how to drop the fuel tank real fast. Okay? So you have two rubber hoses coming off of it going to where you fill the fill tube. The hoses are about maybe a foot long. They are a pain to get off. I just cut mine in half. Boom. Cut them in half. You can buy them. You can buy them from your local, whatever, O'Reilly's, whatever. So then you got these two straps that go up underneath the under tank. Okay. They're held on by two little nuts. Okay. You run your jack underneath. Okay. Put your board of wood under there. Jack it up. You know, hold your tank. You should forget about getting the gas out. That gas ain't gonna come out because there's a stopper in there. You can't get a fuel hose down to it. So anyway, so what you do is you take your two nuts off, and then the straps will hang. You lower your tank down. Then you take there's a little pinch. You take your fuel line off, and then the electrical, you have to get that tank all the way down, and then there's another little pinch and a lock, usually a little red lock on the electrical plug, and you plug that off, pull that off, pull your tank out. Easy peasy, Japanese. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, right. So somebody was saying something about their dream car is the Dodge Viper. The original, very first Dodge Viper was very good to look at, very fast, and was a death trap. One of the worst cars ever made. This is just my knowledge on them. Will I ever own one? Man, I don't know, man. Never been a big fan. Don't get me wrong. I like Mopar, GM, Ford. I'm a motorhead, right? If it's cool, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, I'm a motorhead. I love cars, man. I recently I grew up. I had a 1934 Ford pickup, hot rod, right? Didn't have no fenders on it or anything like that. You know, it was like, you know, um, yeah, love me some hot rod stuff. Anyway, uh, yeah, man. If you got a favorite car you want to talk about, you let me know. Yeah, we'll talk about some cars because I've had all kinds of. I've had Ford, I've had GM, I've had Mopar. I drive a Jeep Wrangler, an '89, jacked up, big tires and all that. You know, old school. Uh, Now what would be cool if I could take that Jeep, put a Viper engine in it because it came with a V10. That'd be hell on wheels. I couldn't even imagine. No, I wouldn't waste my time on that. I'd just put a Hellcat engine in it and be done with it. Today's engines, okay, the best today's engines as far as what people are putting in vehicles, let's just put it that way. The Dodge, excuse me. Yeah. The Hellcat engine, okay. Um, okay, we'll do it as you know what it is. So Mopar, Hellcat engine. I think there's a red eye, whatever. But anyway, it's a Hellcat engine. It's got that supercharger on it, like 800 horsepower and up. Then you have Honda. So what? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. See if you know it. Know the answer. What is the Honda engine that everybody's putting in everything? I'll give you 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give up. Okay, nobody knows it. It's the K24 engine. The one that you get is a K24A2. That is the best one, hands down. Boom. There's a lot of people. I saw a guy put it in a Ferrari 308. Yeah. But people were putting that in. I think I saw somebody put it in a Dodge Hellcat. I mean, a Dodge Charger. Yeah. He took the Hellcat out. He took the Hellcat out and he put it. Yeah. He put it in a Hellcat. Yeah, because I guess there's something wrong with it. I don't know. Sorry. That's my brother. You don't even know what I'm doing right now. Anyway, but yeah, that's what people are putting in is K24s, K24A2. Got to be that engine. Can't be the A1. Got to be A2. I don't know the difference, but I heard it's got to be the A2. Anyway, but it's crazy. I mean, you could put them things in all kinds of stuff. I would love to put one in the Jeep. Right now, I have a 4.2 inline six, the old school inline six in that Jeep. Well, I tell you what, some people do. They look for that engine. They'll take the crank out of it and they'll put it in a 4.0, you know, with the fuel injection and everything, and it turns it into a stroker motor. So keep that one in mind. Anyway, so I got a question for everybody. That's people that do body work or anything like that or whatever, or seen the videos or whatever. What do you think about the spray foam in a body panel? Like I say, if you got a body panel that's ate up with cancer and everything, it's a big old hole. You take that spray foam, you spray it in there, and then I think you use Bondo fiberglass over that, and then Bondo it, I guess. I don't know if you got to put Bondo on top of that. But anyway, and then you just primer it and paint it and clear it. What do y'all think about that? You ever heard of that? The reason I'm asking is because I'm thinking about doing that to a vehicle. I mean, to me, the foam, I don't know if the foam would deteriorate after a while or what. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But let me know what y'all think about that. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, here we go. Here's something new I want to try. I don't know if I can keep it up every day, but I want to try to do something every day. So the wise quote of the day. The wise quote of the day, folks. I might actually turn this into a short, but the wise quote of the day is never leave home without clean underwear. Think about it. Scenario. Why wouldn't you leave home without clean underwear? I know there's some people that like to go free balling and everything, but commando, so to speak. But let's say something happens to you, right? You wind up in the hospital. They start cutting your pants off and everything because something happened, whatever. So they got to get them pants off. Next thing you know, they're like, whoa. Hey, good job. He's wearing clean underwear. Scenario. You're out on a date, right? And you're a significant other, start to get a little hot and heavy, and next thing you know, you expose your underwear and you turn around, there's a big old brown stain on the back. I'm sorry, y'all. No, this never happened to me before. I swear. God. Oh, God. No, that's never happened to me before. I tell you what did happen to me one time. So one time I went on a date with this girl. Now, this was in the 90s. Okay. So forgive me. I was wearing a nice button up blue shirt and white or off-white jeans and cowboy boots. But that's how we dressed back in the day. We dressed like that. We looking good. Anyway, we all wanted to be Alan Jackson. Anyway, so it was kind of like a rainy night, and all that. So we went on a date, and it was all good and everything. And so I dropped her off back at home, and had to walk up these steps to her house to the front door and everything. I hope she's not watching this video because she'll know exactly who she is. But anyway, walk up to the door, and I think I kissed her goodnight and everything. And I turned around, and instead of walking down the steps, I decided to jump off, and I landed on my back in a giant mud puddle. That was embarrassing. And you know what she did? She laughed so much, she turned around, went in the house and slammed the door and locked it, and I could hear her laughing through the door. And man, I got up and got in my car and drove back home. There's more to that story, but I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, oh my God, that was so bad. Yeah. I could probably do like a whole podcast on embarrassing stuff. That one was up there though. That was so embarrassing. Needless to say, we never went out again. I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we didn't. Okay, anyway, moving on. Next subject. For those who are just now tuning in, so we're talking about all kinds of different stuff. And if you have a topic that you'd like to talk about, let me know. I know a lot of stuff. We'll talk about it. Anyway, talk about dieting. Diet. So as you know, I just got off my diet. If people have been following me and everything, I was on it since the 1st of August, 31 days. I didn't eat no cheese, no peanut butter, no ranch, no sugar, no soda, no sweet tea, no big breads. I think just about unless I had to skip it, for every breakfast I had sausage and eggs, or sausage and egg, just one egg. That was enough to get me going. And for lunch, I usually had chicken wings. They're like buffalo chicken wings. And then for lunch, for dinner, I had a sensible dinner. The dinner was either like air fried ham, mashed potatoes, green beans, chicken wings, or corn on the cob, something like that. I could eat any vegetable I wanted. I could eat any fruit I wanted. I ate a lot of apples, peaches, and I could eat, any type of meat, whatever. So, I need to go weigh myself. But anyway, I think I lost like 10 pounds. But it's not about weight, because I was probably gaining weight from muscle mass and everything. The only workouts I did though was like, cutting down tree limbs and, getting up and down off the ground, working on cars, and stuff like that, constantly moving around and, burning all that energy up, just, burning all that stuff up. So, am I glad it's over? Yes. Yes, I am glad that's over. Man. This month, I was going to start riding a bicycle, but I hurt my back. So we'll see how that goes. I was going to do that, ride around the block, or I have like one in bicycle stands I can put a real bicycle on too, and just sitting there and ride in my living room or whatever. So anyway, yeah, if you've been on a diet, if you've done dieting before, yeah, chime in, let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it kind of in between? Something like that. Anyway, let's see. Let's move on. Yeah. So have you heard about this this alien craft? Supposedly alien craft that's, headed this way. I keep hearing all this different stuff. I keep hearing that it's supposed to be here in December, and then I heard November, and now I hear 2 weeks from now, and I'm kind of like, get your story straight, guys. Come on. The weird part is it's like millions of miles away right now, right? And the only thing that keeps going through my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw a little bit of science to you. Okay. I'm trying to say this as best way I can. So if you were to break out a telescope right now and look at, I feel like Neil deGrasse right now, except I'm white. But sorry, if you were to break out a telescope right now and look at a planet that is millions of miles away right now, and you see dinosaurs walking around on it, if we were to get in a spaceship right now and head that way, by the time we would get there, the dinosaurs would be gone, and it would be inhabited by people like us or whatever. It's almost like a time travel thing. Like, as you approach the speed of light, time slows down. I think that's right. If I understand that right. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm a mad scientist through many things, but I'm not an astrologist or anything like that. But I do know that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there thinking about this spaceship. And they're like, oh man, it's millions of miles away. It's like 4 million miles away or million light years away or something like that. Anyway, it's far away. And I'm still sitting there going, okay. So if what I just said is true, then by the time they get here, we will be dead and gone for millions of years. Right? I mean, I wish Neil deGrasse would chime in right now. Hey, dude, if you're listening out there, chime in. Let me know what you think about that. I have watched your thing about talking about the alien craft and whatnot, but let me know what you think about my theory on that. Or if there's anybody else listening that is, in astrology and all that, let me know what you think about that. Right on. So let's say if that craft is aliens or whatever, or let's just say if it's like a doomsday thing or whatever, asteroid, whatever. The only thing I tell you is, if you have a good family, keep your family close, keep your loved ones close, because they're all that matters at this point. Stay true to your beliefs, whatever the religion is. You know what, when it comes to religion and all that, I can talk about religion. That's fine. I don't talk about politics, crap, whatever. But religion, dude, I can get deep on some religion. I mean, me personally, I'm a Christian, always have been ever since I was a little kid. But I don't, if somebody, is not, if they believe in all the other ones, there's tons of different ones or whatever, I don't discriminate. What your belief is what your belief, right? When we die is what really matters. That after thing. Yes, I know about what the great books have told us and all that, and what you can do, like a what if they're all correct? Think about that. What if all religions are correct because of you, right? So whichever one that you have chosen to believe in, that's what, when you die, so be it. That's what, even though, the Bible says there is only one true God and all that. But nobody really knows what happens after we die. Plain and simple. There have been videos that have, of people going, "Oh, this is what happens because I died on that table and I came back and let me tell you about where I was." And I've seen a lot of those videos, trust me. And some, I mean, they seem very compelling. They really do. There's one guy like, man, one of the creepiest ones was this older fella. He's older than me, and he died on the waiting table. I'm waiting for the table. He died on the surgery table, whatever. And they brought him back, and he described pretty much hell. It wasn't heaven. He said at first he was surrounded by, all these people and everything. And, everything was all good at first, but then they started to kind of like attack him, all this stuff, poking at him and doing just all this stuff to him and everything. I don't want to get gruesome, but they were like, forgive me for saying, they were tearing him apart basically from limb to limb. And anyway, and I think he said something like, "God, please help me," and all this, He started praying, and everything. And next thing you know, all the demons like backed off of him and everything. And then he woke up, and everything. So, to me, that sounds like, when we go to sleep, our brains, man, if you're one of those people that dreams or whatever, it's like, how can I explain this? It's like your consciousness goes into a different place, right, so to speak. And okay, so I've heard, okay, in my past relationships, I'd be laying beside somebody and I'd wake up from a nightmare and, they'd be like, "Okay, you okay? Okay." You were like wheezing, but in a nightmare, I would hear somebody screaming, right? So it's like your dream state or whatever, it amplifies everything that you're actually hearing, you know. Like I sleep with a fan on, right? Get that good steady hum, you know. But sometimes it sounds like a car engine or something in my dreams or something like that. So yeah. Uh if you hear like an animal, like a cat in the middle of the night sitting there going meow, 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 but in your dreams you're hearing somebody screaming or something like that, or something. That's what it is. It's amplifying that. It's amazing though. I know people that don't dream. I've actually talked face to face to people that don't dream. I have friends that don't dream. And I'm sitting there going, how? How do you not dream? Like, I dream every single freaking night. My brain is like on fire, you know. And believe me, I've had some messed up dreams, man. End of the world, you know, type stuff. Just, somebody trying to chase me or kill me or something like that. Or, just, I actually had a dream last night about a guy who broke into the house and I had a gun and I didn't use it on him because for some stupid reason, I was afraid that if I killed him, that I would go to jail or something. And obviously that's not the case, you know. And he had a knife and he came lunging at me. And it's like, as soon as he came lunging at me, I woke up. So weird. I don't know why I dreamed that. No, I don't watch anything on TV that would make me dream something like that, or I don't know, just weird stuff like that. I could write a book on the amount of nightmares and stuff that I've had. You know, um, but also, how they say like we live in a simulation, and it's like everybody's had that dream of somebody chasing them, or we've all had a dream of flying, you know, or something like that. It's like, why do we all have that same dream? Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. If you got a cool dream, you like to share a story on that. Yeah. You know. Um. So yeah, we got about like maybe 4 more minutes. I'm gonna cut it. I'll cut it a little short tonight. Um. So yeah, if y'all want to chime in, add something, say something. Um. I see one person is listening now. Who are you? Which one are you? Say it's me. I'll wait. Okay. You're probably asleep. Uh, hey, some people have, I swear to you, some people watched my show and fell asleep too. I don't know, it's my voice. You're listening to the quiet hour. That's what I should do. I should do a quiet hour show. You're slowly getting tired. No. One of these nights, I'm going to do a late night show. It's not something that I normally do. It's not. Uh, but yeah, I used to watch. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. So there was this show on MTV with Dr. Drew. It used to come on late at night, and they talk about some. It was very like adult, right? And it was like they would take phone calls. People would call in and be like, like one dude would be like, yeah, man, I'm having trouble in the bedroom, stuff like that, but they would be graphic, you know. But dude, I used to watch this stuff when I was, you know, I'm pretty sure I was a teenager. It's back when it was. And I can't remember what the name of the show was. It was like MTV's late night show or late talk show or something like that. But it was so interesting, and it was very, very knowledgeable. It really was. Dr. Drew, he knew his stuff. He really did. Um, and but yeah, I could probably do a show like that, maybe. But uh, it would definitely have to be a private show. Yeah, because there's just some people out there you don't want. You know, some people that you don't want them to watch stuff like that. Um, but let me know what y'all think about that. If you think I should do a show like that. There's some freaks out there. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, so another topic I want to talk about is so giveaways. Um, I've been thinking about doing some giveaways, here and there, stuff like that. Um, no catch, no strings attached, anything like that. I just like to give stuff away. You know, I mean, like you watching my show, that would be your your way. Sorry, I'm having a bad hair day. I'm always having a bad hair day. But I would like, say, hey, thanks for watching the show. Here's a free oven mitt. I'm just kidding. Although I probably do have something like that. But speaking of which, did you know that it is illegal to have what's it called? A raffle. It is illegal unless you have a nonprofit organization or you like dealing with a church, stuff like that, whatever. Yeah. Because what I was going to do is, go out, buy those roll of tickets, you used to get back in the day. And like I'd have all this stuff, this random stuff that I've accumulated over the years. And you would pay $5 for a ticket. That's it. $5. And then I do a raffle. And I'd be like, this one right here, and we reach in there and pull the ticket out is because my ticket matches your ticket, right? So ticket number 123. Congratulations, you win this oven mitt and toaster. Yeah. But anyway, apparently you can't do that. It's illegal. If anybody's watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I Googled it. And I was like, really? Like, why is that illegal? I don't get it. Like, I own the stuff. And why can't I sell it? Have yard sales. Nobody ever says anything about that. Yeah. I bet you could. And also, I was going to do like I was looking into doing a, what do you call it? Auction. And there's, fine lines in there. Like, you might be able to get away with doing one. So you got to be sneaky about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, hey, we're doing this right. We're doing this auction, right? Okay. So y'all come on down real quick so we can do it real quick. Meet me out at the shed. We're going to do an auction, everything in it. That's what I was going to do. I was going to auction off a whole shed. Start out like $100. Let it ride, man. So, but I don't know if you I'd probably try it. I don't know. You'd probably have like a ton of freaking people show up and it like cause chaos, with the raffle, I also wanted to have I wanted to go all out, right? I wanted to have food truck and a band and then, let the band play, let everybody, get the food truck, and have a good time and everything. Not one of those expensive food trucks. Those are ridiculous. You don't even know how many food trucks I've ate at, and all the food was just bleh, and you overpay for it and all that. No, I'm talking like a greasy spoon, have them pull up, hamburgers and hot dogs, all the grease you want, just be like, bam, have a nice, country band, everybody having a great time. It's all family oriented and everything, great time. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out and, not getting too crazy, but, just everybody having a good time, man. That's what I'm all about, man. And then at the end of that, okay, we're going to have this auction here, or actually have an auction probably maybe during it. I don't know, but that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know if you even get away with doing that. Just one time. It's a one-time thing, and that's it. I do have a friend that owns a bar, and I don't know if he would be down for that or not, but he does have, you know, the place to have the band, and I know people that are in a band too. You know, I might could be able to put it all together as long as my friend was cool with it. It had to be like on a Saturday, I think, and then he's got a food truck usually out there or food trailer, whatever. Um, and then like you'd be like, hey, dude, we get a bunch of people in here, man. Although he usually doesn't have any problem packing that place. I don't know if he makes the money. He said he was, but anyway. Uh, by the way, dude, if you know who you are, you're watching this, hit me up, dude. Um, yeah, because I'd like to, pack all this stuff up and just give it away, you know, whatever. I don't really care about making money off of it, just want to give it away. How many people do that? You know, I'm better than Goodwill. Uh, sorry, I'm just reading the comments and it's like, I'm like, who the heck is that? I wonder if I can look at them. Who are you? I don't know who that is. I can't even say if you can read the comments, go ahead. I can't say what they said. It's funny. Not funny, but funny. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's like, what's your accent? Definitely Southern. Yeah, I'm Southern. Red blood. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, man, you never know what you're going to see come up on here. I mean, yeah, people are nutty, man. Yeah. Oh God. um, but anyway, if you like anything, you got anything you want to add before I go off air, please feel free to, say something. And by the way, if you would like to come on to the show, since I've started, I haven't had one person come on to the show. Man, I have over 150 videos, and not all of them are like this or anything. They all are podcasts or anything, but still, I haven't had one person. I've asked several people to come on to the show. Talk about. I love to talk about movies. I've got to figure out how to, unless somebody can help me, I got to figure out how to be like, okay, man, we're talking about this movie here. Let's talk about it. We got this movie, da 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 da, you're right here, and do all that. And yeah, it's like I'm a big movie buff. Big movie buff. Do I watch newer movies? Yes. Have I seen all the newer movies? No. Do I like them? Man, it's a hit and miss. It ain't like the 80s and 90s movies. Back in the 80s, man, you saw a movie, you liked every single one of them. Didn't matter what it was. You liked every single one of them. These newer movies, it's all in the camera. It's all how they film. back in the day, you used to use like 35 millimeter. I don't even think they even do that shit anymore. I'm sorry for my language, but they don't care about that anymore. They don't do it. And it, I'm sorry, but it makes me so mad, man. It pisses me off. And, I would love to make a movie um, with a 35 millimeter. Well, obviously, I'm not going to go buy me a 35 millimeter camera and make a movie because that'd be a complete waste of time. But I would, I have programs on my computer, but I can't figure out if there's a way to get that 35 millimeter look, right? If you go back and you look at the old movies like that in the 80s and 90s or whatever, so the 35 millimeter, it had it had this certain look to it. You got to really pay attention to it. It looks like almost like a screen over top of everything. I have heard where they've used pantyhose over the lenses. Sorry about that. Over the lens to give it that kind of, look or whatever. Yes, I took a pair of pantyhose, put it over my phone, and it wasn't the same. It didn't work at all. But there's probably I guarantee there's a trick to it or something. Maybe I'll YouTube it some more. How to get that 35 millimeter look. Whatever. But I use people like things like CapCut, Shotcut, stuff like that. For those who want to know, and I like it. I like them. They're good. But anyway, well, I'm gonna call the show tonight. And I really appreciate everybody showing up and showing their support. For that one person who is still watching, go to bed. Actually, don't go to bed yet. It's only 8. It feels way later, dude. It feels like it's midnight right now. But anyway, whomever you are, thanks for watching and sticking with me. And I will see y'all next time here on Broke TV 123. I'm wrong. See y'all.